Hello. I got a question in the email about from somebody who is having a hard time blowing shards, and she's making silvered ivory shards for application on her beads. And so I decided I was just gonna go over that today. So these are what I'm talking about. These very thin glass shards, and see the fine veining on them. When applied over a ivory bead, it makes it look as if it's made out of marble. I also use them as a structure to build florals on, as if it were twigs or something like that. So I'm gonna make some of these today. So you're going to need silver leaf, and this is leaf, not foil. And the reason why we go with leaf is because I want the reaction, but I don't want a ton of metal. When you have a lot of metal and you're trying to blow a bubble, it sort of pulls together when it's melting, and it'll be uneven, and it'll be very hard to blow out a bubble evenly if there's pockets of intense metal all over the surface of it. So I'm going with leaf and not foil. So let me light my torch. And I'm going to use a hollow tube, and I'm just going to start building up a bunch of glass on it. I don't know what I did with my glasses again, so I'm going to probably struggle a little with heat. I'm not going to be able to see the heat in the glass as well. So I'm using dark ivory, and this is a 104 COE Moretti or Fetra. And I'm just putting a good amount of glass, probably about 3/4 of an inch diameter ball of glass on the end of this tube. Almost there. Okay. So I'm going to heat this up, get a nice round ball. And I want it all the way smooth so that I can get a nice application of silver on here. Okay, so it's nice and smooth. Just going to pick up this silver and then burnish it in. Now the next step here is to really cook this glass and get the silver working on the surface. And what I mean by that is that the surface needs to break up a little bit. And what will happen is you'll start to get sort of a pebbly texture as you really cook this in the glass. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. I'm just going to cook it away. Try to keep it round. When it gets out of control a little, just take it out, let it center up again. So right now it's mostly just a brown color with some streaks in it. I'm going to let this cool enough so you can see. It's just kind of a brown, stripy looking thing. So as I heat this up and cook the surface, I want the surface of the glass to move around a little bit. And what happens is you get this sort of mottled, curdled look to the surface of the glass. And the more of this that I get, the more interesting my shard is going to be. If I blew it out right now, it would just be sort of a tan colored shards, and I don't want to do that. I want to have that veining running through the glass. And in order to do that, we have to have the surface of the glass be interesting before it gets blown out. So this is the time to do it. So it's just have to be patient. Let the glass flop around a little bit. Keep catching up with it. Get the surface to move and flow a little bit. And I'm going to let this cool so you can see what's happening to it now. Okay. You can see it's starting to break up. Right in there. It's getting a little bit of texture. Oh, sorry. That little texture going on. So we're going to keep doing that. Still got a ways to go. It's still dark. What I'm looking for is a lot of white dots to show up. So I'm heating it up some more, letting it flow and move. And break up that surface and let the metals flow around on the surface and create the patterning that I'm looking for. It's getting better. You can also get this effect by fuming your glass. Probably a little easier. But I want nice, strong patterning, so I put the silver directly onto the glass. Okay, let this cool and show you some more. So we've got that going on now. Those dots, that's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to do this one more time and then I'm going to blow this out. And the purpose of this is not to have a perfectly round shape. I'm not blowing an ornament. I just want really consistent thickness in the walls. It oftentimes will blow out in a really bizarre shape, but that's okay. What I'm looking for is a lot of usable shards that I can then apply to other projects. So I want to get this evenly heated, so that means heating from the back and then coming around and heating the top and then to the back, so that it's all, the entire surface all the way through is heated to the same amount. And then when I'm ready to blow, I'm going to let it pause out and cool just a tiny bit. I don't want it so hot that it just blows out immediately. I want it to take a little time to make that bubble in there. So I'm heating it up. It's all the same temperature, almost there. And then I'm going to very gently but forcefully blow while turning the tube. And I'm going to be blowing out of the flame. Do not blow in the flame. So out, letting it cool slightly, keep it turning, and go. Yep, not hot enough. I'm gonna go back in. I'd rather it be not hot enough than too hot and blow out immediately. So if you have to go back a couple times, it's perfectly fine. Heating it up all the way so it's evenly heated throughout. Top toward the tube. At the top again. And then out. Whew. Doesn't want to go. More. No big deal. The more I'm heating it, the more interesting that surface is getting, so it's really not a downside to this. Okay. Wow. I'm wondering if it's maybe the fact that my glasses are not on and I'm misjudging my heat. Keep going. Jesus. Yeah. All right. Here is our bubble. Gorgeous veining. And I'm going to immediately grab some water with my tweezers and drip it right there. Whoop! And there it goes. Okay. So here's our shard. Really nice veining. And I can just give it a little squeeze. Putting the roundness of the bubble in the palm of my hand and giving it a little gentle squeeze. And there it is.